Tonight, find out how some international students celebrated the Lunar New Year.
Plus, students helped out in the community in honor of a civil rights leader this past weekend. Stay tuned. TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
Definition Digital Production Center on the Troy campus with news from Troy University locations around the world. This is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for January 23rd, 2012. I'm Tiffany Lester.
And I'm Courtney Steele. Thank you for joining us this evening. Saturday morning, Troy University students did their part to help out in the community in a group effort to get more students involved in volunteer projects around town. Bailey Majors has the story.
Saturday morning marked the second Care for the Community Day of Service this year at Troy University. While most students were sleeping in, several volunteers dedicated time and effort to different service projects around the community of Troy in honor of Martin Luther King, Jr.
People around the country gather to do service in remembrance of Dr. King and make a difference in their community.
We're really just honoring him and his spirit of serving others and coming together as a group and just being united in making a difference in our communities.
There were 7 volunteer projects for students to participate in, such as helping out around different organizations in the community and beautifying Troy with litter cleanup.
We're going to clean up around at the Boys and Girls Club, and we're also going to paint a room for them.
We're going to be going down to Centennial Park and a few of the roads that are surrounding Troy's campus and just be picking up all the trash and stuff that we see and just making it look nice.
Students also visited with the residents of Noble Manor. Those involved with the day of service said they were excited to lend a hand and pleased with the turnout of the volunteers.
I was really surprised that, this many students are willing to get up on a Saturday morning. But I just think it's really great that this many students would come and just, help contribute to the community.
I think it's a great thing for everybody to come out and support the community because it gives so much to us, especially in Troy. They really support us.
There's just so many different needs that even our small little community of Troy has. And I think when you come out and volunteer, it just helps you see what you can do to make a difference.
Bailey Majors, Troy TrojanVision News.
If Troy students want to know more ways they can volunteer in the community, there will be a volunteer fair this Wednesday from 10 to 12:30 in the Trojan Center ballrooms.
Last week, Apple product users had the chance to get Troy University in the palm of their hand with the new Troy University app. Well, now Android users can get in on the action. Starting today, the University app is now available via the Android market. The app was originally released just for Apple products with the promise of other platforms coming soon, and that promise was obviously kept today. The new app gives users access to Troy University information such as class schedules, campus maps, and directory searches right on their smartphones. The app is still not available for BlackBerry, but the university says it's still in the works for a late release date. And Troy University's Chinese students got to bring a little bit of their native culture to their second home this weekend.
That's right, Tiffany. The students celebrated their Chinese New Year along with their American neighbors. Judson Garner gives us a look at the celebration.
Friday night, a celebration with hundreds of students took place in the Trojan Center ballrooms. Students assembled to honor the Chinese New Year, which is based on the lunar calendar.
The actual date is next Monday, but we're celebrating tonight. We have Chinese students, Korean students, Vietnamese students, people from these countries celebrate Lunar New Year's here.
A variety of performing arts were demonstrated. The deputy of Troy's newly founded Confucius Institute insists that this helps international students feel a little closer to home.
This event not only reduces the homesickness of Chinese students because it's the most important festival in China, it's a family reunion, and also we try to involve American students, and other international students and let them know and let them experience Chinese festival cultures.
Chancellor Hawkins was on hand for the celebration. Hawkins hopes American students can also take advantage of international culture.
I don't think you can be globally competitive if you're not globally aware. And so I think it's important that students from this country, from the United States, meet and understand students from other cultures, because that's the world of the future. That's the world in which our students will live. As they grow older, they'll find that the world is coming together, and if they understand, of course, they will appreciate. So I think there's something to be gained for everybody as we build this global village at Troy University.
Judson Garner, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Today marks the first day of the Chinese Lunar New Year. This year is the Year of the Dragon.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. Early morning storms killed 2 people, injured more than 100, and damaged or destroyed 250 to 300 homes, according to Jefferson County authorities. A storm system moved from Oak Grove through Graysville, Fultondale, Center Point, Clay, and Trussville at about 3:30 this morning today.
Authorities say a former NBA player was arrested on 6 charges of failure to appear in court. The Dothan Eagle reports that Wesley L. Person was taken into custody late yesterday. Authorities say the 40-year-old Laverne resident had failed to appear for traffic violations, including driving with a suspended license and speeding.
Federal officials are meeting with members of Alabama's Hispanic community to address concerns and fears raised by the state's law against illegal immigration. Representatives from the Justice Department and 4 other federal agencies planned the gathering tonight in Birmingham.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, the Penn State campus is in mourning today as family and friends of Joe Paterno plan his memorial and funeral. We'll have more on that story when we come back.
And the Trojan basketball team hit the court to end a 3-game homestand over the weekend. Danielle Percival will be in with the details in sports.
Were the Trojans able to pick up their first conference victory at home this season? I'm Danielle Percival, and I'll let you know coming up in sports.
The first must-have app of 2012 is here.
The Trojans able to pick up their first conference victory at home this season?
The first must-have app of 2012 is here. The Troy University app, available at the iTunes App Store, puts information and interaction with Troy University at your fingertips even when you're on the go. Whether you're a student, a faculty or staff member, alumni, or a friend of Troy University, you'll find the Troy app indispensable. Students can work on online classes and get information about courses. Plus, there are campus maps, a staff directory with email and phone numbers, information about athletics, news, and much more. Get it today. The Troy University app for iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we go to Tiffany Lester at the Global News Desk. Tiffany?
Thanks, Courtney. Tomorrow on the Penn State campus, a public viewing will be held for Coach Joe Paterno. It's the first in a series of memorials announced by his family. Manuel Gallegos reports from State College.
Coach Joe Paterno's fans, like Jake and Margaret Bigham, say he was everything to Penn State.
He's been a very important part of our family for 3 generations, even though we didn't have a personal relationship with him.
Marcy Collett worked for Paterno for 26 years.
You know, he had his Brooklyn accent. And my name is Marcy, and he called me Mossy. So that's what I remember, and everybody laughs about that. All the coaches used to come in and yell that too.
Starting Tuesday, a public viewing will be held on the Penn State campus, followed by a private funeral Wednesday and a memorial service in the basketball arena Thursday. The university is working with the family to honor Paterno's legacy, despite firing him last November for the way he handled the child sex abuse scandal. Many here in the community are bitter about what happened. His longtime friend Charles Pittman, who played for Penn State, says the pressure was too much for his former coach.
I think ultimately he succumbed because they took away his will to live. I think he died of a broken heart.
As for the allegations against former assistant coach Jerry Sandusky, legal experts say Paterno would have testified in the upcoming trial, but it would not be crucial to the case. Manuel Gallegos, CBS News, State College, Pennsylvania.
Newt Gingrich is fighting for funding after his big win in South Carolina. He needs a cash infusion to take on Mitt Romney's well-funded campaign as the two battle to win Florida, the most expensive primary to date. Randall Pinkston reports from the White House.
Mitt Romney is stepping up to the mic with a new line of attack against Newt Gingrich.
I think as you look at the speaker's record over time, it's been highly erratic.
Romney is taking aim at the former House Speaker on the campaign trail and on the airwaves.
Gingrich resigned from Congress in disgrace.
Romney released this commercial aimed at stopping Gingrich after his big win in South Carolina. The Florida TV spot is the first negative ad to come directly from the Romney campaign instead of a super PAC supporting him. Gingrich is fighting to raise the money to strike back and fast. Florida's primary is less than a week away and is shaping up to be the most expensive so far. Right now, Romney has the biggest war chest and the largest organization. But Gingrich raised $1 million in the first 24 hours after his South Carolina win. He's now leading in at least one Florida poll.
Please remind everybody that they have a chance to help nominate a genuine grassroots conservative versus the establishment's moneyed candidate.
Gingrich and Romney are treating the next primary like a two-man race, but two other candidates insist they are still in the fight. Rick Santorum kicked off his Florida campaign saying Romney and Gingrich trying to destroy one another could help him. Ron Paul is focusing his efforts on states holding caucuses in the months ahead. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, the White House.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, including on how some people in Brazil may soon get paid overtime to check their email, you can tune in to TrojanVision Global News right after the nightly news. Now, back to you, Courtney.
Thanks, Danielle. And now Danielle Percival joins with a look at sports. So, Danielle, I know the men's basketball team was looking for their first conference win at home. Did they happen to get it this past weekend?
Well, that's right. They were still searching for that first conference victory at home. They were actually on a 4-game home losing streak, looking to break that too. And Saturday night was a pretty sweet night for the Trojan men's basketball team. Elton John once said, "Saturday night's all right for fighting," and the Trojan men's basketball team took the court Saturday night, fighting a 4-game home losing streak. And as it turns out, Saturday night was the Trojans' night. On Saturday night, the Trojans picked up their first victory on the home court in over a month as they beat Louisiana Monroe 91-63. The 28-point margin of victory was the largest Troy has ever had in a Sun Belt game. And head coach Don Maestri said having the home crowd out to cheer on the Trojans was important for his team.
When you played as poorly as we did the last 2 home games, and we had more people here tonight than we did for those games, that was a great show of support. And we talked about it at halftime and said, you know, we had that many people come out, bad weather and all that, to support you. Well, let's make sure we perform well again in the second half and show our appreciation to them. So the crowd was important, and they were into it, and I think that made it a fun game for everyone.
And the crowd definitely got a show. The Trojans tied an NCAA record, shooting 11 consecutive three-pointers. Emil Jones started the streak of 11 in a row with a three-pointer as the buzzer sounded to end the first half. That momentum carried over into the second half as 5 other Trojans contributed during the run. Jones started the streak, but also ended it with a miss with 5:28 to go in the game. Jones said they didn't know their streak was close to an NCAA record.
I wish I would have known that. I might have took a better shot, but hey, I mean, that's 11 in a row. Hey, that's great.
And when you're out there playing, you don't really, I mean, it's hard to focus on stuff like that, but one guy started hitting, everyone started hitting, and then, they were going in. It felt like everything we were throwing up was going in.
The Trojans shot 71% from three-point range in the second half, and Wright said the team knew despite going into halftime up 16, they had to come out ready to play in the second half.
I feel like we did a good job staying focused at halftime. I mean, of course, we were feeling good after that Kobe-like shot Emil hit over here, but we definitely settled down coming out, and that was big because we could have easily just kind of took them easy, and they could have fought right back into the game because 20 minutes left, that's a lot of time to play.
The Trojans will hit the road to Murfreesboro, Tennessee to take on Middle Tennessee Thursday. The Trojans lost to the Blue Raiders earlier in the season at home by 10 points. Troy's chance for revenge comes Thursday night at 7. And the women's team took the court Saturday looking for their first conference victory of the season. Dustin Carroll fills us in on the details of the game.
The Troy women's basketball team came into Saturday night's game against Louisiana Monroe, hoping to snap an 8-game losing streak and pick up their first conference victory of the year. Well, they were merely seconds away and one possession from accomplishing that feat. Down one, senior guard D'Angelo Sword was stripped of the ball with 3 seconds to go, which led to a layup as time expired, giving Monroe the 49-46 win. Coach Mike Murphy says one play does not decide a game.
Just came up a little short, but that's the way it goes. And in a close game, I told the players that, the last shot of the game doesn't win the game. Every shot wins the game. Whereas the first one or last one. Every rebound's important, first or last. Every turnover is important, first or last. So I'm grateful for the work ethic. I'm grateful for their positive attitude, their willingness to show up every day and work hard.
The Trojans struggled most of the first half, leading to a 30-20 halftime deficit. But in the second half, on 2 separate occasions, Troy went on a 6-0 run and a 14-1 run, cutting the lead to 1. Murphy says you can contribute much of the second half success to their work on the offensive boards.
But you shoot 28% and lose by a single shot. You're really doing some good things defensively, and you're really doing some good things on the glass. We held them to 30%. This is the second time this year at home we've held a team to 30% and gotten beat. The last 6 minutes was critical because we rebounded the ball. We had several offensive rebounds off of good looks that just didn't fall.
Despite the 1-point loss, Coach Murphy says his team's effort was night and day compared to Thursday's game.
Thursday was the first time really all season I've been disappointed in how we competed. And tonight was just the opposite. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we got them in here early Friday, and we played Thursday night. We practiced at 8:30 Friday morning, and it wasn't a walkthrough. I mean, we were getting up and down the floor, and the kids bought into that.
Dustin Carroll, Troy TrojanVision Sports.
The women's team will now also head to Murfreesboro, but on Wednesday to take on Middle Tennessee. The Trojans lost earlier in the season to the Blue Raiders, but it took overtime to decide the matchup. Tip-off for Wednesday's game is scheduled for 7 o'clock. And the Trojan women's track and field team opened their indoor season in Murfreesboro, Tennessee over the weekend. The women picked up 3 top 3 finishes in the meet, including a second-place finish for the 4x440 team of JaCourtney Alexander, Ariel Cavasso, Veronica Bryant, and Candace Vaughn. Freshman Haley Watts picked up a third-place finish in the pole vault with a distance of 3.05 meters. Teammate Taylor Pullen finished right behind her at 4th with a distance of 2.74. Freshman Michael Williams finished 3rd in the 55-meter dash with a time of 7.21 seconds. The team will return to action this Wednesday as they head north to compete in the Birmingham combined events. So congratulations to the men's team for picking up that first conference victory on the home court. Now they'll be hitting the road heading to Middle Tennessee to play the Blue Raiders. The women's team will be playing the Blue Raiders a day before on Wednesday. So best of luck to both the teams as they travel up to Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Hopefully they can bring back some wins.
That's all we asked for. Thank you, Danielle.
And still to come on Trojan Vision, find out how you can be a part of Troy University's 125th anniversary cookbook.
Plus, warm temperatures and rainy weather has helped make today a pretty gloomy day. Will conditions get a little bit brighter, at least a little bit? Free?
Seeing those cloudy skies for the majority of the day, but we may have whiter skies in the near future. I'll have more coming up in weather.
Winter strikes. Time is a killer. The UN Central Emergency Response Fund jumpstarts relief efforts, which saves lives. Help us help in time. Donate now at rapiddisasterrelief.org.
Now the big guy comes out the bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now Bree Sanders wants to look at weather.
So Bree, it was raining off and on all day today. Should we be expecting that for the rest of the night, going into the rest of the week?
Well, yes, we have had those rain conditions all day, but it looks like we may have a little bit of sunshine in the near future. I'll get more into that in just a moment, though. Let's take a look at our campus snapshot. Right now on campus, we see that it's a little foggy outside. The sun is completely gone and nightfall has taken over the campus right now. So whether you're headed to class or you're headed home from work, make sure you keep a jacket with you just to remain dry. Looking at our current conditions right now, we have cloudy skies, temperatures at 58 degrees, dew points at 57 degrees, humidity is at 95%, barometers at 29.99 inches and steady. Winds are coming in from the southwest from 5 to 10 miles per hour. Today's stats, we had a high today of 61, a low of 52. There's about 0.77 inches of rain. The sun rises at 6:42 a.m. and it should have set at 5:11 p.m. Looking at our temperatures around the state. Overall, the state is experiencing about some mid to upper 60-degree temperatures. Mobile coming in with a high at 73, Huntsville at 61, Birmingham at 68, Montgomery at 62, Troy at 58, Phoenix City with 57, and Dothan at 72. Looking at our temperatures across the southeast in our area, we're experiencing some mid 60-degree temperatures, but as we head throughout the rest of the southeast, we see the Carolinas in the upper 40s, lower 50s, certain parts of Florida experiencing some mid 70s as well as certain parts of Texas. Looking at our temperatures across the United States, here on the west coast, they're in the mid 50s, but as we head towards the Midwest, the temperatures decrease significantly into about the mid 20s to the mid 30s. We have a few high pressure systems going on in this area, bringing in a little bit of snow and some precipitation. But as we take a closer look to our area, we see that we do have this cold front coming in through the middle part of the state, bringing in some precipitation as well. So it looks like the temperatures may be decreasing tonight, so you might want to look out for that. Precipitation forecast for the next 48 hours in our area, we should be experiencing about half an inch of rain or so. So if you plan on going out for the next 2 days or being out and about, you might want to keep that umbrella with you just to remain dry. As we take a look at tomorrow, it looks like the northern part of the state should be experiencing a little bit of rain, but our area, we should be okay. We do have that 20% chance of rain. However, as we move into Thursday, we do see that rain covers the entire state, a lot of heavy rain, about a 50% chance of rain or so, as well as thunderstorms, so you might want to keep an umbrella on hand. As we close out our weekend on Friday, we see that rain moves towards the southeast a little bit more, but nevertheless stays into our area with a 20% chance of rain there. For tonight's forecast, we have early showers, 50% chance of rain, cloudy skies overnight. Winds coming in from the south at 9 miles per hour with a low of 50 degrees. For tomorrow's forecast, we have partly cloudy skies, sun in the afternoon, light winds coming in from the northeast from 5 to 10 miles per hour with a high of 69. So unlike today, tomorrow should be a pretty sunny day. It will be a little bit cooler in about the upper 50s. Nevertheless, however, for tomorrow, our class outlook, around 7 a.m. it should be about 51 degrees. At 10 o'clock it should get to 58. 1 p.m. it should warm up to about 66, and 3 p.m. it should get to 67 for the highest. Take a look at our 4-day forecast. For tomorrow, we see we have a high of 69 with a low of 52. Wednesday, we have the high of 76 with a low of 57. Thursday, we have the high of 72 with a low of 57. Temperatures getting back into the 70s, but we do have a severe chance of thunderstorms on Thursday. And Friday, we get to the high of 66. So, Tiffany, we have been seeing those rain conditions all day today, but it looks like for the next few days, it should lighten up and bring us a little bit of sunlight. And as we close out the week, it looks like they'll be coming back.
I know that's sad to start the week off with rain and then have a couple days of mostly cloudy skies and then end the week with rain. So, hopefully, everyone can just make the best of a rainy week at Troy. Thank you, Bree.
Thanks.